Hey, repeat that story that you were telling me about that doctor, what you saw that doctor do down in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was something. So I was recently at a conference in Atlanta, a bunch of doctors there from just all over the country, and the class was getting ready to start. Most people were sitting. The speaker came up to the podium, and there was one young doctor came in the door of the front of the room and started headed back towards his seat. And it was the usual room set up, these tables for 4 people on the left and on the right, aisle down the middle. So this young doctor started down that middle aisle, and there was a doctor sitting on the front corner, and this young doctor, the older doctor sitting there, this young doctor just grabbed his Coke bottle off of his table, and he said, "I'm doing this because I love you, brother," and then just walked back towards his seat. And the rest of us sitting back there, I was about 4 rows back, kind of looked at each other like, does he know that guy? Or is this some random guy? He just took his Coke, And so we're kind of wondering about this. And maybe 60 seconds later, this young guy, the speaker, has started his program. He comes up the aisle and sets a glass of water down. And he goes, "There you go." We're like, what was that all about? And, we're supposed to be listening to the speaker, but we see this interaction going on. We thought the guy was going to get mad at him. And so the young doctor sat back down. And then maybe another 60 or 90 seconds later, the young doctor walks back up front with a cup of coffee and set it down. And he goes, "There you go." And what is up with this? We're all wondering. And even the speaker was wondering. So the speaker stopped his presentation, and because it was like the elephant in the room, we had to know what was going on. The speaker asked, he said, what's going on? What's happening? And so the young doctor spoke up and tried to explain himself. He said, "Well, I saw this guy, I don't know him, we never met, and he was drinking this Coke, and I know that's not good for him, and so, out of love, out of concern for him, I took his Coke." And he said, "Then I second guessed myself. I said, maybe the guy's just really thirsty. So that's why I took him the water." And then he went back to his seat and thought about it some more. He said, "Well, it's early. Maybe the guy needed some caffeine or something. So that's why I took him the coffee." And then the older doctor, he said, "I really appreciate you doing that because, I had made it a commitment to myself at the beginning of the year to make some better health choices. But I just grabbed this Coke out of habit. So I really appreciate you doing this. This is what I wanted to do anyway. So thank you for holding me accountable." And that was just very, very striking. The doctor did it out of love, and the older doctor thanked him for it. He understood the young doctor's heart, and he thanked him for him. And so this is similar to a discussion that I have with patients all the time. Patients have the fear that you're going to tell me, don't do this, quit doing that, remove this from your dietary habits. But what I try to do is replace it, like, suggesting patients take out the corn oil and the safflower oil from their cabinet and replace it with olive oil or avocado oil or something like that. So don't take it as I got to give up this or that, but understand it's more about replacing some of your bad habits with some better habits. So no fight broke out, and it was all done out of love. So that's the story.